776,960 lived in central counties, or those counties and equivalent entities as delineated by the U.S. Office of Management and Budget as forming part of the urban core of the Washington Metropolitan Statistical Area. These counties include Arlington, Fairfax, Fauquier, Loudoun, Prince William, Stafford and the independent cities of Alexandria, Fairfax, Falls Church, Manassas, Manassas Park and Fredericksburg. An additional 390,679 people lived in counties of the Washington Metropolitan Statistical Area or the Baltimore-Washington Combined Statistical Area not considered central. These counties, largely considered ex-urban or undergoing suburban change, include Clark, Culpeper, Frederick, Madison, Rappahannock, Spotsylvania, Warren, and the independent city of Winchester. In addition, there are counties outside of the Washington metropolitan area that under more broad definitions are referred to as being part of Northern Virginia. The University of Virginia Weldon Cooper Center for Public Service categorizes King George County as part of Northern Virginia, though the county was removed from the Washington metropolitan area in 2003. King George County and Orange County also include areas, such as Lake of the Woods, where the cross-commuting interchange with the Washington metropolitan area is high enough to merit inclusion in the metropolitan area, although more far-flung parts of these counties still cause the county-wide commuter interchange to fall below the threshold for inclusion in the Washington metropolitan area or Washington-Baltimore combined statistical area. The demographic figures above do not include population counts for these two counties. Racial and ethnic composition, edit. The 2020 U.S. Census resulted in the following racial and ethnic composition for Northern Virginia. Jurisdiction population, 2020 Census, white alone, not Hispanic or Latino, Hispanic or Latino, Black or African American alone, Asian alone, American Indian and Alaska Native alone, Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander alone, 2 or more races. City of Alexandria 159,467 51.9% 16.7% 21.8% 5.9% 0.2% 0.0% 5.3%. Arlington County 238,643 61.4% 15.6% 9.7% 11.0% 0.6% 0.1% 3.6%. Clark County 14,783 85.3% 6.4% 4.7% 1.4% 0.7% 0.1% 2.5%. Culpeper County 52,552 69.8% 11.6% 14.6% 1.7% 0.8% 0.2% 3.3%. City of Fairfax 24,146 56.2% 17.2% 4.9% 17.2% 0.1% 0.0% 5.1%. Fairfax County 1,150,309 50.0% 16.5% 10.6% 20.1% 0.5% 0.1% 3.9%. City of Falls Church 14,658 71.2% 10.6% 4.8% 10.0% 0.6% 0.1% 4.7%. Fauquier County 72,972 79.0% 9.2% 7.8% 1.7% 0.5% 0.1% 2.8%. Frederick County 91,419 82.3% 9.3% 4.7% 1.8% 0.5% 0.1% 2.4%. City of Fredericksburg 27,982 54.3% 12.4% 21.2% 4.7% 0.3% 0.1% 5.8%. Loudoun County 420,959 54.8% 13.9% 8.1% 20.3% 0.5% 0.1% 3.9%. Madison County 13,837 84.3% 3.2% 9.3% 0.6% 0.3% 0.0% 2.9%. City of Manassas 42,772 39.5% 38.1% 15.4% 6.3% 1.4% 0.2% 3.6%. City of Manassas Park 17,219 31.2% 41.0% 15.6% 11.5% 1.6% 0.3% 3.5%. Prince William County 482,204 41.5% 24.5% 22.2% 9.4% 1.1% 0.2% 4.7%. Rappahannock County 7,348 88.3% 4.4% 4.2% 1.0% 0.4% 0.1% 2.0%. Spotsylvania County 140,032 66.6% 10.7% 17.5% 2.8% 0.5% 0.2% 3.6%. Stafford County 156,927 59.3% 14.2% 20.0% 3.6% 0.8% 0.2% 4.5%. Warren County 40,727 86.0% 5.3% 5.0% 1.3% 0.6% 0.1% 2.6%. City of Winchester 28,120 65.7% 18.3% 11.3% 2.7% 0.9% 0.1% 3.6%. Northern Virginia as a whole is 51.2% white, 17.4% Hispanic, 16.3% Asian, 14.1% black, and 2.4% other. Background, edit. Northern Virginia is home to people from diverse backgrounds, with significant numbers of Korean Americans, Vietnamese Americans, Bangladeshi Americans, Chinese Americans, Filipino Americans, Russian Americans, Arab Americans, Palestinian Americans, Uzbek Americans, Afghan Americans, Ethiopian Americans, Indian Americans, Iranian Americans, Thai Americans, and Pakistani Americans. Annandale, Centerville, Chantilly, and Fairfax City have very large Korean American communities. Falls Church has a large Vietnamese American community, and the region is home to a small Tibetan American community. There is a sizable Hispanic population, primarily consisting of Salvadorans, Peruvians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Bolivians, Mexicans, and Colombians. Arlington is the center of the largest Bolivian community in North America, mostly immigrants from Cochabamba. Many of these immigrants work in transportation-related fields, small businesses, hospitality, vending, gardening, construction, and cleaning. Of those born in the U.S. and living in Northern Virginia's 4 largest counties, their place of birth by census region is 60.5% from the south, 21.0% from the northeast, 11.5% from the Midwest, and 7.0% from the west. 33.7% were born in Virginia, which is categorized as part of the southern United States along with neighboring Maryland and Washington, D.C., by the Census Bureau. Educational attainment, edit. The core Northern Virginia jurisdictions of Alexandria, Arlington, Fairfax, Loudoun, and Prince William comprising a total population of 1,973,513 is highly educated, with 55.5% of its population 25 years or older holding a bachelor's degree or higher. This is comparable to Seattle, the most educated large city in the U.S., with 53.4% of residents having at least a bachelor's degree. The number of graduate/professional degree holders in Arlington is relatively high at 34.3%, nearly quadruple the rate of the U.S. population as a whole. Affluence, edit. The region is known in Virginia and the Washington metropolitan area for its relative affluence. Stafford County in Northern Virginia is one of the 7 counties in the nation where black households make more than white households. Among large cities or counties in the nation with median household incomes in excess of $100,000, the top 2 cities, which comprise over half the region's population, are in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia also has one of the highest costs of living in the nation, making the actual purchasing power of these households considerably less than in other less affluent areas. According to Nielsen-Claritas, Loudoun County and Arlington County have the highest concentration of 25 to 34-year-olds with incomes of $100,000 plus in the nation. In 1988, Tyson's Galleria, a large shopping mall, opened across Virginia Route 123 from Tyson's Corner Center with high-end department stores Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue, hoping to become the Washington area's upscale shopping destination. The mall had trouble with sales and attracting high-end boutiques well into the 1990s and faced competition from Fairfax Square, which opened nearby in 1990 with the largest Tiffany & Company boutique outside of New York City. Following a 1997 renovation, Tyson's Galleria was able to attract high-end stores. In 2002, National Geographic described it as the Rodeo Drive of the East Coast. In 2008, luxury home service Sotheby's International Realty, which had 3 offices in Virginia serving the rest of the state, and 2 in Washington, D.C., opened a new office in McLean to sell high-end real estate in Northern Virginia. Crime, edit. According to the Crime in Virginia 2021 report, published by the Department of State Police, Northern Virginia had homicide rates below the state average. Jurisdiction population, 2020 census, homicides, 2020, homicide rate, per 100,000, homicides, 2021, homicide rate, per 100,000. Alexandria City 159,467 31.88 to 1.25. Arlington County 238,643 31.2600.00. Clark County 14,783 00.0000.00. Culpeper County 52,552 00.0000.00. Fairfax City 24,146 00.0000.00. Fairfax County 1,150,309 16.3926 Falls Church City 14,658 16.8200.00. Fauquier County 72,972 34.1134.11. Frederick County 91,419 33.2822.19. Fredericksburg City 27,982 310.72310.72. Loudoun County 420,959 10.2430.71. Madison County 13,837 17.2317.23. Manassas City 42,772 12.3412.34. Manassas Park City 17,219 00.0000.00. Prince William County 482,204 71.4510.2.07. Rappahannock County 7,348 00.0000.00. Spotsylvania County 140,032 53.5732.14. Stafford County 156,927 21.2742.55. Warren County 40,727 00.0000.00. Winchester City 28,122 7.1113.56. Region total 3,197,076 51 1.60 59 1.85. A 2009 report by the Northern Virginia Regional Gang Task Force suggests that anti-gang measures and crackdowns on illegal immigrants by local jurisdictions are driving gang members out of Northern Virginia and into more immigrant-friendly locales in Maryland, Washington, D.C., and the rest of Virginia. The violent crime rate in Northern Virginia fell 17% from 2003 to 2008. Fairfax County has the lowest crime rate in the Washington metropolitan area, and the lowest crime rate amongst the 50 largest jurisdictions of the United States. While the region has extremely low violent crime rates, it is an emerging hub for teen sex trafficking, with regional gangs finding it more profitable than selling drugs or weapons. Economy, edit. Main article, Economy of the Washington metropolitan area. Former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell described Northern Virginia as the economic engine of the state during a January 2010 Northern Virginia Technology Council address. As of 2007, the Northern Virginia office submarkets contain 172 million square feet, 16 million m, of office space, 33% more than those in Washington, D.C., and 55% more than those in its Maryland suburbs. 8 million square feet, 740,000 m, of office space is under construction in Northern Virginia. 60% of the construction is occurring in the Dulles Corridor submarket. As of September 2008, the unemployment rate in Northern Virginia was 3.2%, about half the national average, and the lowest of any metropolitan area. While the U.S. as a whole had negative job growth between September 2007 to September 2008, Northern Virginia gained 12,800 jobs, representing half of Virginia's new jobs. As of July 2010, the unemployment rate of the region was 5.2%. In the mid-2000s, Fairfax County was one of few places in the nation that attracted more creative class workers than it created. Internet, edit. Northern Virginia is the busiest internet intersection in the nation, with up to 70% of all internet traffic flowing through Loudoun County data centers every day. It is the largest data center market in the world by capacity, with nearly double that of London, and the world's fastest growing data market as of 2018. Loudoun County expects to have 6,500,000 square feet, 600,000 m, of data center space by 2021. By 2012, Dominion Energy expects that 10% of all electricity it sends to Northern Virginia will be used by the region's data centers alone. Accenture estimates that 70% of Amazon Elastic Compute cloud servers are located in their Northern Virginia zone. A 2015-16 estimate by Greenpeace puts Amazon's current and upcoming power capacity in Northern Virginia at over 1 gigawatt. Federal Government, edit. Main article, List of federal agencies in Northern Virginia. The federal government is a major employer in Northern Virginia, which is home to numerous government agencies, including the headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency and the Pentagon, headquarters of the Department of Defense. The area also includes Fort Myer, Fort Beaver, Marine Corps Base Quantico, the FBI Academy, D Academy, Naval Criminal Investigative Service, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, and U.S. Geological Survey. Government contracting is an important part of the region's economy. Arlington alone is home to over 600 federal contractors and has the highest weekly wages of any major jurisdiction in the Washington metropolitan area. The following government agencies have either 10,000 plus employees or a $10 plus billion budget. 1 Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. 2 Defense Logistics Agency, DLA. 3 Department of Defense, DoD. 4 Drug Enforcement Administration, D. 5 National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA. 6 National Reconnaissance Office, NRO. 7 Transportation Security Administration, TSA. 8 United States Patent and Trademark Office, USPTO. 9 United States Fish and Wildlife Service, FWS. Other federal agencies in Northern Virginia include 1 DARPA. 2 National Science Foundation, NSF. 3 Office of the Director of National Intelligence, ODNI. Notable companies, edit. Further information, Dulles Technology Corridor and list of companies headquartered in Northern Virginia. Largest public companies, Fortune 500, 2021. Company Industry Headquarters National Rank. AES Corporation Utilities, Gas and Electric Arlington County, Virginia 313. Beacon Building Products Wholesalers, Diversified Herndon, Virginia 420. Boeing Aerospace and Defense Crystal City, Virginia 58. Booz Allen Hamilton Information Technology Services McLean, Virginia 391. Kasai International Information Technology Services Reston, Virginia 473. Capital One Financial Commercial Banks Tysons, Virginia 99. DXC Technology Information Technology Services Ashburn, Virginia 152. Freddie Mac Diversified Financials Tysons, Virginia 47. General Dynamics Aerospace and Defense Reston, Virginia 84. Hilton Worldwide Hospitality Tysons, Virginia 324. Leidos Information Technology Services Reston, Virginia 248. Northrop Grumman Aerospace and Defense West Falls Church, Virginia 86. NVR, Incorporated Home Builders Reston, Virginia 383. Science Applications Information Technology Services Reston, Virginia 412. Largest Private Companies, Forbes America's Largest Private Companies 2021. Company Industry Headquarters National Rank. Bechtel Construction Reston, Virginia 15. Carasoft Information Technology Services Reston, Virginia 44. Mars Food and Drink McLean, Virginia 4. Verizon, the manager of the .com and .net top-level domains, is based in the region. Major companies formerly headquartered in the region include AOL, Mobile, Nectel /Sprint, PSINet, Sallie Mae, MCI Communications, Transurban, and UUnit. Attractions, edit. The region's large shopping malls, such as Potomac Mills and Tysons Corner Center, attract many visitors, as do the region's Civil War battlefields, which include the sites of both the First and Second Battle of Bull Run in Manassas and the Battle of Fredericksburg in Fredericksburg. Old Town Alexandria is known for its historic churches, townhouses, restaurants, gift shops, artist studios, and cruise boats. The waterfront and outdoor recreational amenities such as biking and running trails, including the Washington and Old Dominion Rail Trail that leads from Alexandria to the foothills of the Blue Ridge, the Mount Vernon Trail and trails along various stream beds, whitewater and sea kayaking, and rock climbing areas along the Potomac River, various parks, Great Falls Park, and historic Mount Vernon, which opened a new visitor center in 2006. The Government Island Park and Quarry in Stafford County has views of the Potomac River. Aquia Creek was the source for many of the building materials for the White House and U.S. Capitol. Also in Stafford County are historic places, including George Washington's boyhood home, Ferry Farm, the Civil War headquarters and plantation Chatham Manor, and Gary Melcher's home and studio. Arlington National Cemetery and the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, an annex of the National Air and Space Museum, which includes exhibits that cannot be housed at the main museum in Washington, D.C., due to space constraints. Concerts and other live shows are held at the Wolf Trap National Park for the performing arts in Wolf Trap. Politics, edit. Presidential elections results. Background, edit. From the mid-1880s until the mid-1960s, Virginia politics were dominated by conservative Democrats. After World War I, under the leadership of Harry Flood Byrd, who became governor of Virginia and later a U.S. Senator, the group became known as the Byrd Organization. With a power base in a network of the constitutional officers of most of Virginia's counties, they controlled Virginia's state government. The Byrd Organization largely followed conservative and anti-debt principles espoused by Byrd, who grew up in a rural setting during the fiscally stressed era following Reconstruction. Although a member of the Democratic Party and an initial supporter of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, Senator Byrd became a bitter opponent of the New Deal and related national policies, particularly those involving fiscal and social issues. He became Virginia's senior senator after the death of Senator Carter Glass of Lynchburg in 1946. The period following World War II saw substantial growth in the size and diversity of Virginia's suburban areas, including Northern Virginia, Richmond, and Hampton Roads. People of the emerging middle class were increasingly less willing to accept the rural focus of the General Assembly, nor Byrd's extreme positions on public debt and social issues. The latter was nowhere more graphically illustrated than with Byrd's violent opposition to racial integration of the state's public schools. His leadership in the failed policy of massive resistance to racial desegregation of the public schools and efforts to circumvent related rulings of the United States Supreme Court ultimately caused closure of some public schools in the state and alienated many middle-class voters. The Byrd organization